Welcome back to Dusty Music. It is Liam and Chris. We had to come back for such a special occasion. Brockhampton is about to drop their 7th studio record. The Family is going to release on November 17th. Dude, what is up? How are you feeling right now? Because today has been electric.
To put it this way, in Batman, how you see the Batman symbol in the sky, Batman's back. I feel like the Brockhampton logo is just shining up in the sky today, letting everyone know that we're back, baby. I'm
so pumped, man. I'm so excited. So, when did you find out about this record?
Honestly, I found out through you, and you hit me up, and you're like, call me ASAP. And at first, I thought it was like some sort of emergency.
I didn't know I broke it to you.
And you broke it down. And I couldn't believe when you said the words, Brockhampton has confirmed a new album.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of times where Kevin's just totally just trying to ruin our days, right? Like Kevin just teases us so much. But so what happened is he said TF is what the record's going to be called. Like those are the acronyms. That's what that's a hint at what the record's going to be called. People were guessing so many different things, But The Family is the end. A lot of people thought it was going to be the finale, or honestly, Team Effort would have been pretty good too. That would have been nice if we actually got that record. But dude, okay, let's take a look at what we actually know. What we do know is that this is the album cover. Chaotic. This is such a chaotic album cover. What are your thoughts on this?
There are so many subliminal messages on this album cover. It's almost like an art piece where you just have to stare at it for a few minutes to kind of get what everything means. Obviously, these are all references to the group at some way, shape, or form. Totally not what I expected from a Brockhampton album cover. We're so used to the same themes of these records. So to see something as abstract as this was really surprising. But what are your thoughts?
I think it's really overwhelming. I like how dense it is. I think the beauty of a lot of Brockhampton records is that they'll be really simple. It's just a clear-cut metaphor, right? Like Ginger, for example. It's forgiveness. It's embrace. It's sad, but it's coming together as well. Then you got Iridescence. That's kind of literal, but also Iridescence was the theme of the record in general. The Saturation records, literally just photos of the guys, of Amir, really, truthfully. But this feels like a mural of everything that they've ever done. So I don't know. I think there's a lot of things here, right? You get these big beating eyes up top. There's an American Eagle. There's Heartbreak. There's a woman there. I think there's a woman there with a gun. There's teeth. There's what is that? Sad teeth. Maybe there's a Kevin's teeth, right? Then you get the blue guy on the roof. What is that? Saturation era. You get the American flag, right? You get the American flag down there. You got a group of kids with the devil in the back. That's probably their record label. Dude, you got the there's even the car. I'm just breaking this down as I look at it. There's even the car, the white car. That's what is on Saturation too. There's so many things here. And I think also, even though these things might reference things that we've already seen, I think this also might reference what is actually happening in the album. So we also have the track list for what the record's going to be. Here, let's pull that up right here. Track list is going to be, it seems like there's going to be 17 songs, right? We see this image of, it's the backside of this CD, right? So we see words, Take It Back, RZA, Change, or Back from the Road, Gold Teeth, Basement, Good Times, Southside, 37th, Any Way You Want Me, Prayer, American Life, The Ending, Brockhampton, The Family. These have to be album or track titles, right? And then we have this other image. You guys aren't seeing it right now. I don't know what this exactly is. I don't know if it's a magazine or something. It says The Family, Brockhampton. The show's over. New. It says 7th, on the 7th. Or it says 7th. So the 7th studio album, of course. And then it says, okay, here's 3 details. The last one's a big one. First one is that we have 17 tracks. Second detail is that there's 35 minutes of music, so that gives us the length of the record. And then it says executively produced by Bareface and Boy Life. So Bareface, that's awesome to hear that he's going to have his hand in production. I really hope we do hear some bars on him. Man, I think that could actually make... Chris, do you know how much Bareface has actually like contributed to other albums as far as his production?
I assume a lot, because there's some snippets I see of him like actually playing live instruments and being a sort of a producer, making their own tracks.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure he's like, for all of his solo stuff he's done on the Saturation records, he's probably produced those tracks. You know, I wouldn't say that I'd say he's probably produced a good chunk. I wouldn't say he's produced everything. I mean, that's why they have like the whole team there. But me, I was so shocked to see a Bareface executive produced record, because it just leaves it up for question of what kind of sound is this going to be?
Yeah.
Is this going to be a new sound that we haven't heard before? Is it a nostalgic sound that we all love from the Saturation series? It just leaves it all up for question.
So the boys did put out a little teaser video. It's like an intro to what the album's gonna be. It's these guys. They just did like a robbery, and then all they got from the robbery was like just
Toys.
Yeah, toys, like not valuable things. And the last thing was an iPod Nano, like second generation or something. I had one of those. Right, and
the guys were sharing the headphones.
Yeah, they share the headphones, and you can start hearing the intro, or what sounds like the intro of the album. And it's pretty exciting because you can hear a little bit of a sample. It sounds like the first early cuts off of Technical Difficulties, those like acronym songs. What it sounds like, and this is a spicy topic nowadays, but what it sounds like is early Kanye, doesn't it?
Absolutely, that's the first thing I thought of when I heard the sample and the progression of the beat. I could have closed my eyes and been like, okay, this sounds like something from College Dropout or Late Registration or something like that.
It's like this like upbeat, soulful, nostalgic, like inherently nostalgic. Whether you like know, whether you're familiar with it or not, it's like it's inherently nostalgic music. And you know, like I can just hear like Kevin just like ripping it apart, right? It's like When I Ball, right? That's what it sounds like. So I'm super pumped about that too, man. Just the fact that we're getting new Brockhampton is exciting enough, right? So what do you know about this other guy, babe? What's his name? Boy Life? What do you know about Boy Life?
Honestly, I had never heard of the name before. I had to Google him, and he looks like he's like a local, like a small artist, but from the music genres he was labeled as, it was like indie, hip-hop, R&B, which is right up the boys' alley. So maybe maybe they were just friends, and if Kevin wants you to produce a record, he obviously has a lot of trust in you to do so.
Yeah.
He has some cachet if he's going to be making this record.
I wonder, so like I have not listened to the music, so I'm curious. Something that we've talked about in the past is like really what is the direction of this music? It seems like all of these songs are brand new. These do not seem like B-side Lucy's. It's not Technical Difficulties. I mean, they might be renamed songs, right? They might be we actually did see a lot of that on the last record, right? On Roadrunner.
Can I bring up a point?
Yeah.
There were moments in Iridescence where I picked up verses that were already used in Puppy that they had recycled and that they had used in the Iridescence series. Yeah.
You're absolutely right. That's a great point. So we could see a little bit of that. And there was like a lot of striking moments like that on Roadrunner, just songs that had been recycled from TD. So we could see some tracks resurface. But I guess it's like Brockhampton has amassed such a catalog of music. I was telling you about this yesterday or earlier today. Like if you got 10 members, let's say, in a group, right? Or you have like 6 vocalists, right? That means every song you're putting out, you're producing, there's likely leftover verses from not only the people who are on the song regularly, but also the people who don't end up on the song, right? Like if you let's say Alaska, right? Or let's say The Light, right? On The Light, all you have is Joba and Kevin. Who's to say there's not a Matt verse? Who's to say there's not a Dom verse, right? Or who's to say that in post someone couldn't use an old unused Dom verse and apply it to the song, right? Or give it like new drums or something. Okay, my roundabout point is basically this is Brockhampton's final record, right? That's what they say. This is their final record. That's great. The band's already broken up. We're going to get this piece of music. That's great. This is my conspiracy. This is what I think is going to happen. This album is going to create momentum for the other band members to then start putting out their music in 2023, in 2024, etc., right? Let's say this record comes out. Let's say The Family gets put out. And then in 6 to 8 months, we get a Don McLennan record, right? Let's say we get the Merlin record, right? And then let's say, okay, well, maybe if those records aren't doing great, Kevin comes along, puts his out, that brings up buzz. Maybe they reissue The Family with a deluxe. Or what if they release another should we say like posthumous record? Can I say that? Like posthumous, like the band's over, right? Like, and then they put out another posthumous record where, Kevin or someone or Bareface produces all of these old tracks, right? What if we get a deluxe version? What if we get Saturation 4 with demos, but also with remixes of songs that already exist? Like I was saying, like instead of, like let's say Bareface is on Alaska, right? For example. Anyways, what do you think? I just spoke for a long time.
I'll add on to that. I think I totally agree with the whole momentum thing. I mean, the boys haven't put out any music in a while, so this is a great way for them to draw the attention again. And then since there's so many of them, the combinations are endless, like you said.
Yes.
And the mix and matching of all the members are definitely possible. The only concern I have for that is you look at boy bands in the past, and usually when they all split up, they all kind of go their separate ways. You never see like a collaboration record between Harry Styles and Zayn. You don't get like Justin Timberlake and whoever else was in.
But to your point, I think the reason why it is possible that we might see, because you're saying like instead of just getting a Merlin record, we maybe get like an Abstract and Matt Champion album, like a collab album, right? Like Migos breaks up, right? And then like two of the guys get together, or like we're about to get like Drake and 21. So that's what you're saying, right? The reason why that is possible is because the boys actually care about each other and are actually friends and don't actually hate each other, or at least as far as I can tell, they don't hate each other. I would imagine these other boy bands, the actual boy bands, are I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't say actually.
I feel like they're artificially put together.
Exactly.
So they didn't grow up together as friends.
Exactly. But these guys, like, they do love each other, and I think they're breaking up because they realize that they're adults. They're not boys. They're men, right? Like, they got to grow up and live with their, significant others, and they want to do their own thing. And I think the future is so bright, dude. I really do think the future is so bright. It's been such a wild ride to be a Brockhampton fan. I cannot wait for this record to come out. Like, it's crazy. We already have a track list. So do you think we're going to get a single tomorrow?
So it's New Music Friday tomorrow.
Yeah.
So I would expect maybe, because they posted on Twitter another album artwork, which was a picture of a guy with the bag over his head that says BH on it. And I'm wondering if that's like a single cover, art.
That could be. I didn't even think of that. That really could
HK, be. He's always been great on the visuals. He's always killed it on like the graphic design part of it.
I saw that as just kind of like a tease, but oh, dude! Apparently, I can't even show this now, but the CD itself that is in the, like, we've seen the case, the album cover, but the art on the CD itself is so cool and has all these, like, I don't even know, they're like different interpretations of the band members.
Shout out to HK, man. He snapped on this.
Dude, that's crazy. I don't know if you guys got to look this up. Maybe I'll put links in the description. You seen this right now? Anyways, we can make another video about this later.
And before we change subjects of the last record, this last record, it feels different. Like, if the Rolling Stones were going to put out a new record, I'd believe that that's a last record because they're all old. These boys have so much life ahead of them.
Yeah.
Where, you can't rule out that this is the final record.
No, dude, you're absolutely right. Like, these guys love music, and they're breaking up not out of hate, but out of, like, wanting to move on and to do other things. And I think they've been, like, teasing us for so long, but still giving us albums as to not, like it's kind of just to warm us up to the thought. I mean, we've had these discussions. Like, click right here. There's another video where we talk for an hour grieving that the fact that Brockhampton might break up. But I think we've come to terms with that actually happening. I mean, dude, I love Brockhampton. Like literally, I love Brockhampton. Like it was a way of life. It was a community. It was a movement. Dude, they'll always be a part of my life, 100%. But
So my question for you, Liam, is, we've always had theories on, because I feel like every album, an individual has really shined on the record. But with this one, I know if it's their last record, who do you want to see shine the most on this? Who do you want to have the mic the most? Who do you want on like the choruses the most? Like, break it down. I want to hear who do you want winning the MVP for this record?
So what I've been listening to a lot of is some old Technical Difficulty Lucy's. One of them is what song is it? Let me pull it up. One of them is Cherry Popsicle, and that's it's like a really hard Kevin track. The other one is, hold on, what is it? It's called If You Need Me, I think it's called. Hold on, iTunes. Yeah, If I Need You is one of the tracks. Cherry Popsicle. If I Need You is again a Kevin song. I don't want to be basic and say I want Kevin, but like that's really what I'm feeling. I think we get a lot of Joba. Like that record is Roadrunner is iconic. But so okay, I'm gonna spin it a little bit. I'm not really giving you a straight answer. I'm gonna spin it. What I want to see, and I'm not even a fan, but I would love to see an Amir feature.
Yes, dude.
What do you think about that?
I mean, come on, we all saw him in the video. Why else would he be in the video?
Yeah, man. Dude, I think as much as this is not a secret. I don't really care for Amir. I mean, I think he has some great moments on Saturation, and that's fine. I'm not like a hater, right? I think it was good that they got rid of him. I think he was just a lousy friend, bottom line, right? Beyond anything else that he's done that is allegedly or whatever that is not good. I think he became a bad friend, a bad person to the people in the group, right? So like whatever. Anyways, what I think is he's a founding member of Brockhampton just like anyone else, right? So I think it only makes sense to bring Amir onto the album, give him a feature, right? It can be this like somber, it can be the somber feature, it can be an old feature, whatever. I'm sure they already have his blessings. If Amir is going to be on The Family, I'm sure they'll get his blessing and then it's going to be all great. But I think it would be almost kind of like a pretty alpha move, right? To like show acceptance, to show healing by rather than rejecting him and keeping him off the record, right? Like to actually just like accept him, put him on the final record, and let him, I don't know, like let him actually, like you're purifying his legacy, right? Which I'm not here to be like political. I think he's done some awful things, but he's still a human being, and maybe he's grown past that.
And he tried to do a solo career for a little bit, and it never really took off. And
yeah, that's true.
The whole theme of the album's the family. And there's some family members that you're really close with, and there's some family members that you don't talk to, or maybe you had some beef and you don't talk anymore, but they're still family at the end of the day. And I think maybe with this record encompasses, like, yeah, our family's not perfect. And I think they're really doing this for the fans by just bringing back Amir, because while Joba and Bareface and everyone else has stepped up in his absence, I think bringing him back would just kind of be like the final bow on the present. And I think it would make old fans happy. It would make new fans excited. I don't know. I'm all on board for it. I think his hiatus was enough of a punishment, and have him just do like one verse would just hit me right in the sweet spot. He doesn't need to be all over the record, but just one song would just like hit me right in the heart, man.
That'd be nice. It would just help it, like, you know, that is I think that is definitely a huge catalyst to why Brockhampton broke up, right? Like that was the cause of a lot of their turmoil and just their like the dysfunction within the group. So I think just to have that as like a closing, just like a final little, I think would be really nice, metaphorical, right? I am looking at Amir's Spotify playlist right now, or his discography on Spotify. He had a manual in 2019, 2 singles, one in 2020, one in 2021, nothing this year. Maybe, I don't know, man. Maybe he's waiting for Brockhampton to break up. I've actually heard that he's pretty close with Merlin. I've heard he's pretty close with a couple of the guys, which is really weird. So I don't know, man. Maybe he's gonna be on Merlin's record. And to go back to our point about like them trying to revive or to birth the solo careers, right? Maybe he's trying to hop that train, right? Mm-hmm. Brockhampton drops the family. We start getting all these solo records. He just dips. He goes, oh, by the way, I also have a record. Most people are going to be like, I mean, I would listen to it. I would give it a shot, right? So I don't know. That's a whole. I did not think the conversation was going to go in this direction, but it would actually be refreshing to. I don't know. I think I'm curious now. It's like it's morbid curiosity. It's like what would Brockhampton sound like with Amir Van?
And also, 5 years is a long time, and people change so much, and so it would be really fascinating to hear an Amir verse in 2022 that's not on a Saturation song, because the group's clearly grown up from that, and they've changed their style. I wonder how they're gonna get Amir to like fit in perfectly. I know they've tried to replace him with like So Gone, So Flexy. They've brought in like outside rappers like Ferg and Rocky to try to be that, like, to try to fill in that Amir role, if you will. But yeah, now that they've changed and with this new record, I'm just so excited to see how they're gonna like fuse him into this.
You're absolutely right that they really have tried to like fill that tough guy sound. But I think it is interesting because it's like, you know, Amir had this specific style back in 2017, but you know, that's at this point, that's going to be 6 years ago, right? That's a long time ago. These guys were kids. I mean, they're our age. We're adults now, right? So like, he might have changed. He might be talking about different things. He might have developed. I know he has played with different like flows, and like just like rapping delivery, in more of his newer work. So it would be really interesting to see where that's going to take. Dude, this has all got me so pumped. Thank you for hopping on a call, dude. Is there anything else you want to talk about?
Yeah, so with this new record, they have to have a tour backed up for it, which I'm assuming they'll probably do like next year and maybe trickle on into 2024. But they have, you know, for the fans, they have to give us another tour. And I hope they don't cancel it. You know, I hope they can commit to a tour. But I don't
think we're gonna get a tour, man. I think the band.
We're gonna get a tour.
I don't think so. I think you think of it like this: they broke up. The band does not exist anymore. This is like just lose. These are leftovers, right? I mean, it's gonna be a final record, but it's leftovers. Like there are bands all the time. Like when an artist puts out a deluxe version, they don't tour off the deluxe, right? That's kind of what I'm feeling from this. I don't think we're going to get a tour, man. I don't think so. I don't think so. If we do, I'm going to go, but...
The only reason why I'd be surprised is because tours are another source of income for the boys.
Yeah, so but the band's broken up.
Like, don't you guys want to put your differences aside just for this one tour? It would be my third time seeing them, okay?
Yeah.
We
should have gone more.
Trifecta.
So this is... we've talked about this again on other episodes. But I think definitely there is room for them to come back together. There can be a tour every like 5 years or so, right? I mean, if there's a demand for it. But I think, dude, it's different. It's like, it's fun to hang out with people in college, but they're not in college anymore. They're like adults. It's like, why do you want to... It's tough. It's a whole other thing. I think what they want to do is invest their time and resources into their own solo work so they can put that out and then tour off their solo production, right?
And to
that's the future,
I think. This like a couple weeks ago, Blink-182 just announced a new album and tour after like a few years of not like just being invisible. So I think like I agree. Like Brockhampton could certainly come back in like another decade when we're all like older, and they'll do like a reunion tour or an album or something, and you know, people will just be as invested.
Yeah, I think Brockhampton has a huge fan base. And I think they've got a long time to just continue off their legacy, man. Right? You know, I don't know. It's like some things are better because they don't last forever, and I think that's this is one of those things. Dude, let's do another. Depending, I think we're gonna get some singles. Let's do another episode, maybe next week. And make sure you guys.
Review.
Yeah, dude. If you like this, if you want to hear more Brockhampton. breakdowns, speculation. Someone in the comments said conspiracy theorists. I love that, dude. We are Brockhampton conspiracy theorists. Subscribe and stick around to Dusty Music. Thank you so much, Chris. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.
You guys.
Peace.